Welcome to some City Skylines. I know we're moving a bit on from Prison Architect. I don't know when I'm going to get back to that, but we're going to start a new game here. I assume these are ones that don't have. So let's have a look at some of these. So I often go the very classic Grand River mostly. Or the Lagoon Shore looks pretty good. Let's just have a look through some of these. Sandy Beach. So I think this one's a bit like New York, with like the different islands, with the cluster of islands. This looks kind of cool. To be honest, I kind of want to go the islands. Okay, we're gonna go islands. Oh, you really? The loading bar was like coming up, and it's like, whoop. Yoink. I'm gonna go back down. Alright. I think I still need to turn this sound down a little bit. It's quite loud in my ears. Alright. Cool. So we have it on no speed. So we're starting off with here. This is a bit deceptive because I really want to start on one of these islands. Alright. We're going to be called Lakefield. No, we're not. What do we want to be called? Like a, I'm trying to think. Okay, is there like a randomizer? Lakefield. I don't know. We'll leave it on Lakefield for a bit, and maybe I'll change it when I think of something. Alright. So here, what, we're coming this way. So I think what we should do is get sort of towards the center here. Right? I hate this. Get more towards the center, right? And then, is this sort of the center? Yep. And then sort of have it branch off like this. And then we can sort of have like the suburbs over here. This is just like a sort of foundation kind of situation here. Then we'll eventually... Why is this always so difficult? We can come back like that. Is there a... One thing I wish there was is some form of planner. Cinematic camera. Oh, nice. Alright. So, what I think I want to do is sort of have this like... sort of like suburban streets. But also, I think I want to come back like that. So... I don't know if I agree entirely with that. How is this sound not getting any lower? So, alright, because we want them to be able to circle back and not have to go all the way around and then clog this bit up over here. So, of course we want to figure out what we're going to do with power. So, We don't really want power along here, do we? Because we want like the sort of the beginning bit to be like a statement, you know, like come in this city over here. So where do we really want the power plant to be? Maybe just provisionally? We can put it over here. But then the trucks will have to go through there. Maybe we can curve it. Hang on, let's think about this. So if we're going to put the power on this side, the trucks are going to come through here, right? But then have to go all the way around to the residential area. We want the trucks to leave the residential area. Well, this is going to be the suburbs, right? The inner suburbs. We want the trucks to leave that. So I'm kind of thinking about here, and then up here we have sort of our statement pieces. Or I'll just move a lot of this down a bit. Probably what I'm going to do. Sorry for the noise. Alright. Whoops. So I kind of bring it out a bit further. Right? Oh, that's horrific. This in one is never straight. It annoys me so much. Alright. So let's try again with these suburbs. So we want like the suburbs to sort of... I'm kind of thinking like my area, how they work is you have like the suburbs and then sort of like the lake view. Not the lake view. The oceany area. Whatever you want to call that. Okay. And then come back there. I'm not going to do that because that seems a bit excessive. So down here, we can sort of have the power plant. If we want to come along here. And then... how are we going to do this? Do we want to go up and over? And sort of circle back? I reckon we could probably make that look better later. Well, to be honest, I reckon that looks good. So you come in, it's not too much of a distraction, and it leaves the, gets the power out of the way. Okay. So I'm trying to think here. Where we want to put this relatively close to the water. To the power plant, so it's not a huge. What are the words I'm trying to get out of my mouth? Huge distance for these power cables to run. So we can sort of run them like this and then circle it like that. And then sort of, what are we going to do here? Middle it. So it comes onto the road. And then sort of just wrap it around. And sort of just have it go across like that. And then we can throw in we'll just start with two residential bits here. I forgot how much money we're going to lose. And then, actually, hang on. I probably would like sort of, hang on, let me, this side to be shops, right? Just have like a little shopping area here, and then sort of like here as well. And then sort of have like a corner side deli here. No cars. I forgot to fill around with that budget. I've lost it a bit. Okay, so we can lower this stuff, right? We have 3 population. I reckon we dump it down to 70% because we don't really need it right now, right? It's not... Whoops. Yeah. Can we refund something? Just for the moment, let's refund that so we can have power. So these people can have power. We'll fix that road up later. I think power is more important than convenience right now. So we're getting people in, we have some shops. Our balance that's in the red is going down a bit. We could also have some buildings here. Some what is industrial zones. We have a few buildings there. Oh, here come the population. And then I suppose we could also run it like this as well. I don't want too much, we're going to end up with abandoned buildings. So we'll leave it like that. And then we can't really mess too much with sort of what this area deals with. Because ideally we go to something a bit more greener so we don't have like a massive cloud of pollution over here. Okay. So thinking about the suburbs, we can have another row here. Right, and then have like another corner shop deli situation here. That should be fine, right? There we go, we're in the green. We're in the green. What's this street called? Mulberry Street. Nice. Alright. So this ticking along. We have $1 on a bank account. Okay, now our bank account's going up. That's all good. I'm just a little bit careful of how much I want to put here. Because at the moment, I've got no way for these guys living here to get to the industrial district. So I'm thinking of a road over here. Oh no, but that's one way. It's gonna be interesting. Because we could have a... Yeah, it's gonna be interesting how this is gonna work. Because they're gonna need to come back, circle around. Or... we can go across like that. So coming down here, they can then circle across here. Sounds like a good idea, right? Cool. So, regards the road. Don't have enough money to perform this task, which is an issue. Let me... we do like small sections. 400 bucks, come on. I can make 400 bucks. We can do it. Come on, I believe. I believe, there we go. And then I'll do the opposite this time, so go this way. And then I won't have a deli sort of over here. Right, so we'll have this growth here. Sort of more suburbs. So we have loans, taxes, garbage, healthcare, and all that kind of stuff. Alright. So garbage is where it gets a little bit interesting. So, if I go like that, right. So first of all, if we bring this down, we can put sort of the garbage collection over here. I'm thinking. Now we can sort of have this route here. For the garbage guys. So, alright. So we don't really need a lot of garbage collection during the night, right? We can lower that during the night. We do like 70% taxes. We can jump it up to 10%. 10%. And bump this up to 10%. Alright. So weekly road expenses. Garbage is piled up. Alright, so do we want 2? Sure, let's put 2. And see how we go with 2. So truck should get going. Oh, because that's a circle the whole way around. So we're gonna have a road that comes back like this, and then they can come back down and then go through. That should make sort of their trip a lot smoother. Alright. So if we make another row, because how long is this? About that, that's about 3 sections, right? 3 sections. So we can make another row of suburbs here, and then we can start to get into sort of like the shore areas. So how's our pipes looking? We may need to alter this a little bit. So bring this down. Bring it up here. And that's just for future preference. So I don't want to expand too rapidly again, so I'm just being overly cautious of how much growth I put in at any given time. Especially because we don't have healthcare or any form of education. something we want sooner rather than later. Alright, so I'll put some more industrial stuff there, and then we can line sort of industrial here. So then these guys can sort of have some jobs to work on, that kind of thing. Get sorted. No one's, is that really a house? Tiny. They're uneducated. There's 10 people living in that house. It's a lot of people. I suppose we kind of want like this corner, you know, like a corner shop. Sort of like the corner shop up here as well. That all looks good. What about here? Something gonna go there? I suppose eventually, right? Okay, so now's where power becomes a bit of an issue. So I want to... What's the upkeep? 80 bucks a week. Compared to... increasing this up to 60. That was about 40 bucks. We'll see how that goes. Not enough workers. Alright. Well, I feel pretty confident about going like this. That should get you some workers. Then also, I want to put a... what is this? A medical clinic. What's the reach on a medical clinic? Okay, the reach is pretty decent. Okay, so we have a medical clinic here. That's going to get to all these guys. Cool. Then, we're still looking at lacking in the education department. Medical clinic. What medical clinic has an ambulance? Patients, ambulances in use. I don't actually know clinics to have ambulances. And then I suppose it's pretty safe to do this as well. And then what I sort of want to do is sort of wrap this like this, and then sort of bring that in as well, like that. It's kind of how I want that to work. So then we can have let me think about this. I can put some shops here, but I don't know if I want anything to be on this stretch of road. Like, I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do there. So garbage is going well. Still don't have any education running. So that's obviously something that we want to do. And our next unlock, almost there. What do we get? Districts and policies. Okay, so that's what we want. We want to start looking at some districts. So where can we fit some people in? I'm happy to go here. Happy to go like that. And then, I'm trying to think where else would I be happy to put some people. I think I've decided that I'm gonna go like along here. I'm happy to put some stuff, and then I'll also put, what is this? An elementary school here. So we can get some education going. A firefighter, what else do we have? Then police station. So crime rate's pretty low, but the hazards. Now what's the hazards? So the fire station can be here as well, because they've got a good sort of route to run through. That should fix that water problem. Okay, now we can start getting... How do we get districts? Alright. So, forestry. I don't know, I've never really dabbled too much in sort of specializations. So if you come here for forest industry, I suppose there's not really much forest there, so we can't do that, can we? Oh no, that's what that tree does. Alright. So we can get rid of all of that, and then we'll work on forestry. Cool. Beach Park. I wouldn't call that. Let's call this an industrial reserve. Right? Policies. It's fine. They have an increased water usage. So what we may want to do here is up during the day to 60. And then sort of this district here. Pearl Park. Sure. I'm happy with that. Pearl Park. Why is my income so crap? Ah, no way. So these guys. Let's all move them down. I'm paying these guys for nothing. Dump it down to 80%. During the day we live at 100, night 50%. Because no one's going to elementary school at night. Well, I don't think they are, anyway. So we have fire department. Crime rate's reasonably low. Can always be lower. Uneducated, 99%. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Okay, so these guys are running out of power. Okay, so what we may do here is bump it up to 65%. 80%. During the night, we can probably bump it down to 74. And same with healthcare. We'll bump it down to 74% during the night. That should help us out a bit. Why is it curved like that? So weird. Okay, what are you complaining about? Crime rate is high. 16%. Okay, it is climbing. But right now we don't have the funds to pay for any real sort of police department. So pump this up here. This will all be part of this reserve. Alright. That should do some wonders there. I'm thinking if we come down one more, like one more slot, and we sort of go like this, and then we can sort of wrap like that. That kind of looks cool. And then we can have water. Keep forgetting about these basic necessities. Come on. Okay, lots of people now complaining about the crime rate. Not much I can do about that. Bunch of people here, and then we can sort of have like that there, and then bunch of houses like that. None of these guys have water. Nor do they have electricity. Alright, so we're going to bump this up now to 70. Right, bump this up to 63. Okay, so that looks good. Apart from the fact that crime rate is now rising significantly. So what I may do is I may get a loan from the Silver Sunset Bank. Weekly costs. Weekly cost is less. Sure. So police station. Let's chuck one. Where would we have a lot of maneuverability? Up here, I would assume. That should help us out. What's our budget for police? 80 and 80. A lot of crimes are done during the night, so I don't feel comfortable dropping that. I don't think that should be dropped. So these guys should start to get a bit more happy. Should expand this out a bit to include all of this. All this as well. And I don't know if I want to put... I'll put buildings here. Then I can always, suppose, remove them later. That should be good. So I think what we'll do is we'll leave it on... What are we going to call it? Unknown city. We'll leave it here as we become a tiny town, and we'll deal with it in the next episode.